Hello, this is Margot, and I'm coming to you with my next video here, or an update rather, on the low tone actually went away. I think I heard a little bit of it this morning, but that tone that I was speaking of on the first video that I made, it finally went away. And my experience with that is, I recall yesterday the electric man that comes around checking people's meters. I was just sitting there talking to my brother, and the electric company, or the electric man, came up to do his daily check, and when he turned around to leave, I waved at him. He kind of looked at me crazy, like, and he gave me this weird look, and that noise left. And so I remember saying in the first video about that low humming tone is that I believe, just from my personal experience, that it was a familiar spirit. And and again, it had left. And when that man, he looked at me crazy, he drove off. So maybe that familiar spirit attached to him, because with these spirits, these unclean spirits, they're looking for a vessel. They're looking for a willing vessel. They're looking for rest. And but as he left, again, the tone went away, and I went in the house, and I heard another tone, but it wasn't as strong. So that comes to mind where it was talking about in scriptures about, the spirit will leave and come back to a house to find that it's empty. It's an empty house. And if you're not careful, and if you're not keeping your vibrations high, keeping your mind positive, being optimistic, even putting the word in you, getting some scriptures in your spirit. If there's an empty house, it's talking about your body as the house. And keeping your body, your vibrations high, being positive. Again, as I mentioned before, doing your affirmations, watching what you're eating, watching what, if whatever you're watching on TV or on your laptop or whatnot, being careful what you're allowing in your spirit, because just overall, you have to be careful with entertainment. Because if you look at that word entertainment, the first part of that word is enter. And so, tame something. So you have to be careful what entertainment you're watching, because you could be inviting something, and that stuff you watch is just sitting in the back of your subconscious mind, and those unclean spirits, they'll use that to their advantage to attack you, or what they call psyche attacks. And you wondering where all these thoughts coming from, because come to find out, I'm doing my research on the mental, how the mind works, and come to find out some of these thoughts are not even your thoughts. Because I know now that I'm an empath, and empaths, we soak up, not realizing you're soaking up people's energy around you. You soak up, we're like a sponge, like you're soaking up people's energy. You might even caught someone's thought, like, I know that sounds crazy, but it's like you just caught someone's thought, and you realize, like, wait a minute, like, why am I having this thought? And it's like, it may not even be your thoughts. You might have somehow psychically, that's probably not even the proper term, but you have these psychic abilities where you caught someone else's thought. And it's not even your thought, and you take these thoughts as your own, and it's not even your thoughts. You just, like I said, you some of this stuff that I'm come to find out is pretty it's wild. You know what I mean? It's very wild. But come to find out, like I said, I think it's familiar spirits that, once you start your own spiritual journey, your spiritual enlightenment, these familiar spirits, they'll leave, but they will come back to see if you're still on the right, you still on track, or they'll come back to see if they can throw you off track and make you go backwards. And so that's what I was saying about having these weird dreams. As I was listening to that low constant excuse me, humming tone, it was just, like I said, I was having these weird dreams, these lustful dreams, and it's like I knew what it was. It's like it was these familiar spirits. So like I said, you have to be careful what you're entertaining and what entertainment you're watching. So, but something else that I'm gonna be talking about too is animal totems. And I found this book here just to show that. So, teachings from our animal spirit guides by Susie Green. And so the first animal totem that I'm going to speak on is the armadillo. And I'm just going to read a little part of it and kind of elaborate afterwards. It says, armadillo is all about defense. Three-banded armadillo's plating is so perfect that she curls into an impenetrable sphere sealed by triangular shields on head and tail, which form a curved rectangle. When danger threatens, she has no need to flee nor fight. Her living fortress is flawless in design. Knowing this, she can stay for long periods of time on the earth, a virtually indestructible breathing coconut. As your guide, Armadillo counsels that running from confrontation, like fighting aggressively, is exhausting. If you set firm defensive boundaries, the words and actions of others will slip away unnoticed as the claws and teeth of those who would try to attack. Three-banded armadillo slides off her shields, unable to gain purchase. Armadillo advises that the time has come to defend your space. If you are always the one who pays for the coffees, or is always called upon to drive friends to the airport, calmly make it clear that those days are over. Soon people will stop taking advantage of you or your integral territory. Mental and physical will once more be your own. So I just thought that was pretty interesting, because when I first got home, because I used to be on the road. My occupation, when I was active, I used to be active duty. I'm a veteran. I served in the United States Navy, CB. So I got my truck driving experience while I was in the Navy. So I got out the Navy in 2016, and I pursued trucking because I was an equipment operator in the Navy. So I learned a lot in the Navy how to operate heavy equipment, construction equipment, all the equipment you can name of. I learned how to operate cranes, but tractor trailers was one of the main equipment or pieces of equipment that I've operated. So I took that and I transferred that experience out into the civilian world. So when I got out, I got my CDL, and I was on the road since as a truck driver who drives the big rigs, 18-wheelers. But I was being called to kind of take a step back from that this past July, to get out the truck, and which I'm not finna go into all that because that could be for another video. But when I got out the truck this past July, I noticed I was seeing the armadillo a lot. When I was outside, I had my headphones on. When I was at home, I was walking around the property and even doing some jogging to get some exercise in. And I noticed that armadillo quite a bit. And this armadillo, it saw me, and it wasn't even scared. Like, it saw me, but it just kept just going around digging, because armadillos, they're the ones that leave all those holes in your yard. So, excuse me. And hey, it wasn't paying me no mind, but come to find out as well is that you have to just pay attention to nature, because of course with today, us working and with technology becoming more and more advanced, we can kind of get out of tune with nature and not realize that the animals, the insects around you are giving you messages. And so the armadillo, I just noticed, like, let me look that up. And from seeing the armadillo, just from my own personal experience, is that I am the one in the family. I'm the baby of my siblings, and I kind of am the one that's the most reliable, dependable. I love helping people, and it's just, I'm just big-hearted like that, and I've always been that way. But at the same time too, it's telling me that you have to be careful with that, because with your loved ones, your kindred, even your friends, you have to set healthy boundaries with them, because they will drain you dry emotionally and financially. And for some loved ones, some of them may not necessarily know that they're draining you emotionally and financially. Some of them just think that, well, family members are supposed to be there for each other and just do for each other, but with them not realizing it, they will use you. Family members, they will use you up if you let them. A lot of our folks, they're opportunists, and when they get in a jam and you are one of the most reliable ones, you the one, like the go-to person. Like I said, you got to set those healthy boundaries and know when to, tell people no. Even if it hurts, tell people no. Hey, I done helped you enough. It's a no. You know what I mean? And like I said, you don't have to be aggressive about it or be ugly about it. Just politely say, no, I can't help you. I got it, but it's the thing is that, hey, you're stressing me out here, or, hey, love you, but I can't do much for you now. I'm good. However how you want to tell them, tell them in your own way. Hey, You know, I can't do nothing for you no more, man. Or, hey, lady, I'm good. So, but yeah, set those healthy boundaries with people to let them know, like, nope, you know, I done help as much as I could for you. That's it. You know, that's all I got for you. And then another situation where reason why I was seeing the armadillo is that where we live at, we live out in the country, and you know, we have private property, and there's a pipeline that's behind our house, and you know, some of the guys of our neighborhood, they had started doing those trail rides, you know, where, you know, they'll have their horses, they'll, you know, go parading around the neighborhood on their horses, on their ATVs, their four-wheelers, and actually, you know, it's become a issue because some of these people with these trail rides, they had to stop them one year because people were just trespassing on other people's property, impeding on people's land, and so that wasn't cool, disturbing the peace. And so the city had to get involved and just cut all the trail rides off because they got to have permits for that anyways. But the armadillo, with this saying that you have to defend your territory, I would say not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that, we had some guys come through our part of the land. Because me and my brother, we had made these kind of makeshift type of fences, and we should have known better that those fences weren't going to keep anybody out. So they just opened up one of the fences, and then on the other side, they just ran the other fences just straight on over. And so it's like, okay, of course we had to call the police for that and have a sheriff come out to put in a report. But after that, of course, I got with the gas company that runs that pipeline, and they provided us with some gates. So we got one gate up, and we put up signs. I put up cameras. You know, I use the trail cameras, which is made for, you know, outdoors. It's made for that. So maybe somewhere down the road, down the line, I can do a video on those trail cameras, because they are very convenient if you need cameras around your property. So that was telling me, like, hey, you gotta take the necessary measures to defend your territory, because these guys who, you know, they just think they could just run through people's property and get away with it. So that's another indication of, hey, you know, warning, like, time to get ready, you know what I'm saying? Defend your territory, or, you know, you don't have to go out guns a-blazing, you know, unless you have to defend yourself, but just take the necessary steps to make sure that your property is good to go. So, but anyways, dang, this video at 19 minutes. I wasn't expecting to go this long, but I just wanted to elaborate on that, to start the talking about the animal totems, and two, I know I want to start talking on the angel numbers as well, the numbers that I've seen that also correlate with the animal totems as well. So, but anywho, I hope this video helps someone, you know, out there, and that's about it. That's all I got. So peace and blessings to you all, and have a good one.